Hello and welcome. I'm Carol DeChaine, your intuitive spiritual guide for practical matters, a Marconic multidimensional energy teacher and practitioner. This month has been all about abundance and the mindset to help you actually move through any issues you have with money. And I know abundance is about a bunch of different stuff, but we're focusing on money because can be a really big issue for people. I started the first week off looking at where the fear might come from, where that feeling of lack may be, whether you don't deserve it or you think you have to work hard for it, or wherever that little archaeological dig I had you go on, where it comes from. And then I talked about honoring your money fears and not resisting them anymore. I talked about where you can get the source of your money, where it can come from, and doesn't have to be just your job. And then I talked about opening yourself up to abundance and ways that you can do it. And the last thing I want to tell you is that you need to expect abundance. You can't just open yourself up on a maybe iffy thing. You need to go, I expect it to happen. I expect the money to come because I've asked for it, because I've worked through my fears, and the law of attraction says I'm picturing it and I'm going to have it. So expect it. It's kind of like when you plant a seed. You plant a seed of corn and you go, okay, you watch it, you water it. You don't keep unearthing the seed to see if it's growing or not, because obviously then it's probably going to die. You wait and you assume it's going to come. So if you work on your fears and your mindset and shift it and shift it and shift it, eventually that seed's going to grow and it's going to come out as a corn plant and not as wheat or as fruit tree or something because you planted a corn seed. So know that the corn can come up in abundance if you plant it and you're working with it, and you need to expect it to be there. Expect you're going to get corn and not some other type of plant. Expect that it's going to come up in abundance. Sometimes the first year it's not quite so full. I know my dad was a farmer, and he, even when we were in the suburbs, would at some point after he retired, he started planting corn and different tomatoes and beans and different things in the backyard. And the first year wasn't quite a great harvest, but he got more and more and more. And it was something that was a sight to behold because he expected his abundance. And so the first year was a little slow. And as we go along and we're working on our mindset, we may not get exactly what we want right away, but we may. But if you pay attention and you expect it, you're going to start getting abundance little by little. And as I said last week, if you really work at visualizing what you want and not the bills and not and be careful, because if people use I am affirmations, do not, you think you're doing it in a positive framework, but if your framework is, I have enough money to pay my bills, that's all you're going to have the money for. So be careful how you think about your abundance. You need to picture yourself as having a overabundance in your check account, that you have a savings account. That's a huge, that you have investments if that's what you want, that you see it just flourishing rather than just, I have enough to pay my bills. Because a lot of people, that's the kind of affirmation they use. That's the kind of mindset they have. So therefore, they never get more than that. Some people have, I have enough to do this and this, and that's it. I have enough to cover my bills and I have a little bit extra. It's kind of their mindset. But you want an abundance mindset. You want to be able to expect there always to be more than enough. And sometimes you have an issue come up and all of a sudden you'll have a maybe an extra bonus or something show up. And I did want to mention this because sometimes people think they have an abundance mindset. They expect the abundance, but it's a little tricky because I know someone who used to tell the story about her abundance, and she said, I never had enough to pay my bills, so I started working on my abundance mindset. And I did affirmations, and I saw myself as having enough money to pay my bills. And I did. After about a year, all of a sudden I had enough to pay my bills. But I didn't have enough because stuff would come up. And it was like, oh, I have enough money. Okay, I have more than enough to pay the bills. And then one time she got a bonus and she went, oh, I got a bonus. This is great. Well, a bill came up, the exact same amount. And she went, oh, well, okay. So she paid the bill. Excuse me. And then the next thing that happened is the next year she got a bonus. A bill came up right afterwards. Again, dollar for dollar, within a few cents, paid the new bill. Was happy she had the money. She was grateful. She had enough money to pay that bill. But she realized that that's what was happening. Finally, after 2 or 3 years, wait a minute. I never have enough because I have enough to pay my bills, but that's all I have enough for. Including when the weird stuff comes up, I get the bonus, pays the bill. But what if I want to go travel? What if I want to do this, that, or the other thing? I don't have the money because I only have enough to pay my bill. I need to change my mindset. So she always expected what she asked for to happen, but she didn't go far enough. So finally, she started saying, I had to see that I had an abundance, more than enough, so that I never had to worry about anything. I always had an abundance. I can travel. I can pay for my kids' schooling. When it comes to retirement, I'll have plenty for that. She says, I was just imagining all the stuff I wanted to, and to have even more than that. And it wasn't so much she needed the cash and she wanted to stockpile it. It was that she wanted to feel comfortable. She knew that she would have more than enough, which is what an abundance is. It's more than enough. It's overflowing. And if you feel like you are overflowing and you have more than enough, maybe even you're picturing giving some of that to a worthy cause, to a person, to whatever, homeless, whatever feels right to you in your abundance. If you want to share it with whoever speaks to your soul, then you share it, but not out of guilt that you have too much, but out of a willing heart and because you want to share that. And some people, that's the reason why they end up getting wealthy in the first place, is they want to share. And other people get wealthy because they don't want to share. They literally are yanking it in, but then they're so tight that they push people away. And they also create other opportunities to spend many, many times that they didn't want to spend on. So this woman who had this abundance that she wanted to shift, she finally got to the point where she said, it took me a long time to realize what I was doing. And now I have an abundance. I found ways to make more money. And it's just, I feel comfortable. I can travel. I do all these different things that I couldn't do before because of the way I was thinking. Expect your abundance. Expect that you can have more than you ever dreamed of in cash, in money, in assets, in whatever you want, because you deserve it. And if you go, do I? Yay, you figured out a fear you have. So look at that one and work on it. Now, I have to say, there's lots of ways to work on deserving. There's ways you can work with life coaches, you can work with whoever you want to work with. It's something that you are worth. You're worth it. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Ask for help if you need it. And if you don't, and you do it on your own, yay, you, that's wonderful. But realize that sometimes we don't see how well we're doing. So look back on your life and see where you were and see where you are after you've been working on it for a little bit. And see if you go, oh, yeah, I'm in much better shape than I was. I am so much better. I'm somewhere that I'm okay now. I'm somewhere that I can even get better with this, but I'm good. I've done so much work on this and I'm so much better than I was. Give yourself a break and picture yourself with the abundance that you want, what you do with it, how you feel, who you would have to be to have this. And then start acting that way now. Acting with the expectation that you're going to draw that to you. Whether it's immediately or whether it takes a little bit of time, it doesn't matter. Just know that you are who you need to be already. And you can grow into those attributes that you have, but maybe you're not leaning on. The generousness, the gratitude, all those things that you already have in you that maybe isn't the first way that you react. Maybe you're more angry. Maybe you have other issues and other fears that is kind of bearing and pushing down those better qualities that you do already have. So let some of those go. Raise that vibration up. Allow yourself to feel the gratitude and the love and the joy and expect better for you. The abundance will come, the money will come in one form or another. Be grateful for it. Be grateful for who you are and how you can interact and shift your life whichever way you want. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I'm Carol DeChaine. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell notification if you'd like to hear the next time that a video is posted. And if you want to know more about me, my intuitive work, my life coaching, my Marconics multidimensional energy, or listen to my podcast, they're all on my website, or you can check the podcast out. It's the same name as my website, and it's called Connect to Joy, which is what I want to help all of my clients, and actually the world do. So connect, the number 2, joy, and you're going to find the connection down below this video. Until next time, be well and be courageous. Find who you want to be, and then take steps and become that person.